If you typed the code in Hello World, pressed run, and it compiled successfully, then congratulations, you're a coder. Now let's take a minute to understand what it is that we just typed. The first thing that we did is create a method called main. A method is a collection of code that performs a task. This is one of the questions on your worksheet, so if you're filling that out as you go along, you can stop and fill that in right now. All code needs to be contained in a method, and all Java programs must have a method called main. The main method, without any code in it, looks like the example on the screen. Public void main, 2 parentheses, and then an opening curly brace, a couple of blank lines, and a closing curly brace. Let's explain main. Okay, the first word, public, is the access modifier. We're going to get into that later. For now, just know that all methods that you write should start with public with a lowercase p. The second word is the return type. If a method returns data, you need to specify the type of data here. If a method does not return data, then you need to put the word void. For now, we'll always use the word void until we learn how to return data from methods. The last word is the name. The name can be anything you want, but it should start with a lowercase letter and it needs to follow some rules. We'll get into those on the next slide. If it's the first method in your program, the name should be main, because all Java programs need a method called main. That's where the program execution starts. After main, we have 2 parentheses. We can put parameters in those parentheses. We're going to learn about that later. For now, we'll just put 2 parentheses with nothing in them. Then comes the opening curly brace and the closing curly brace. These braces represent the block of code that goes with main. Everything between those 2 braces is part of main. Right now, there's nothing between them, so this is an empty method declaration. There's no code in it. So let's add some code. In our case, we added one single line of code. That was the line that said console print, open parenthesis, double quote, hello world, double quote, close parenthesis. Console print is another method. It's a method that someone else wrote. That method writes data to the console. It writes whatever is between the 2 double quotes to the console. If we want to call a method that someone else wrote, we don't need public, we don't need the return type. We just write the name and we pass any parameters that are necessary. In the case of console print, it's going to take a parameter that is a string. A string is just text. Text is enclosed in double quotes. Anything that's within the double quotes will be printed to the console. Now, let's try another program. Try to change what's inside the double quotes to something else. You're going to be asked to populate it with your name. So it should say hello and then your name. In my case, it would say hello Pat. In your case, it would probably be something else. Again, if you're a Digital Academy online course user, click Next. Otherwise, go to LogicBox and find the problem as it's described below. When you're done, come back to this video.